using the precedent created in our recent court victory in the Constitutional Court, we are going to be launching a contempt of court application against the ANC to obtain the copies of emails and WhatsApps that are relevant to the period when President Cyril Ramaphosa served as chairman of the ANC's Cadre Deployment Committee between 2013 and 2018, which we know from past experience and from the Zondo Commission was the height of the state capture process. The ANC failed to include President Ramaphosa's own emails and WhatsApps in the material that it handed over to the DA, despite the fact that Mr. Ramaphosa was the chairman of this committee during this period and was one of the recipients of the emails and WhatsApp messages in question. He ultimately bears responsibility for the operations of this committee, but has failed to depose an affidavit confirming he has no documents or information for this period, instead choosing to rely on the dog ate my homework approach. The DA has yesterday issued a letter of demand to the African National Congress for it to fully comply with the Constitutional Court's order with a deadline of tomorrow. If they do not adhere to this demand, we are going to be seeking a contempt of court ruling that includes prison time, aimed specifically at the Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula, who has acted on behalf of the ANC in this matter. We will use the precedent created by the case of Jacob Zuma when he was sent to prison for similarly being in contempt of a constitutional court order. And finally, we will be pursuing criminal charges against ANC officials involved in the destruction of information as part of the blatant cover-up campaign to try and wipe President Cyril Ramaphosa's fingerprints off of the Cadre deployment records. In our legal letter sent to the ANC yesterday, the DA has pointed out that the ANC has failed to comply with the court order in a number of material respects. One, extensively redacting the documents. Two, providing no information for a 5-year period during of which Mr. Ramaphosa was the chairman. They've also failed to provide a list of all decisions taken by the Cadre Deployment Committee as ordered by the court. They've impermissibly restricted communication disseminated during the year 2020. They've furnished illegible documents. They've destroyed documents while the matter was pending before the court. They've failed to adequately explain the steps taken to locate the information, including all information from President Ramaphosa himself as the chairperson of the committee, and thus a recipient of any and all information and documents pertaining to it. And they failed to provide minutes that were not formally adopted, even though the court order obliges the party to hand over all of this relevant documentation.
Get help registering to vote at check.da.org.za. Register to rescue South Africa.